Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today I'm going to try and do a video that covers two Mitchell reels, the Mitchell 300 and the Mitchell 3. I might have to separate those, but at least out of the gate I'm going to try and do it where it covers both. And the question that comes in, and well, the piece that drives all of this is how do I put my bail back on? A lot of times folks will take the bail and think that that's the issue when it's not really the issue. It could be a bent bail or something else. But when they go to service the reel, they take it completely off the rotor, and then, well, for whatever reason, they have some trouble getting it back on. And sometimes it winds up with me out of frustration or because they bent too many springs or whatever it is. So I thought I would show you how to do that. We'll start with the 300. And I hope that we can save the back end of this for the 3/0 bail spring set. And well, we're going to start, as I like to do, with the pieces off of the reel. So to me, it's a lot easier to manage putting that bail wire and spring on when everything is off the reel. If you leave it on the reel body, it tends to spin around, and you're trying to manage the reel body and trying to do some things that well, make it a little bit more difficult. So to me, it's worth having it off, and since this person already took the reel apart, makes it real easy, right? All right, let's show you how to do that. But before I do, I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel. If you like the art of reel repair, if you like to see how fixes get done to general problems, if you like to see servicing of reels and learn more about fishing reels, then I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel. If you do subscribe to my channel, please use the notification button. That's going to let you know when I post, where I post, and well, you'll see if it's a video that you want to watch like this one. So this rotor's in nice condition. Here's the spring that came with it. First thing you always want to check is it the right spring? It is. And you'll notice that there's a indent in the side cavity here, and there's a right-angled tag on the back end of the spring. There's two right-handed tags. One just is a straight bend up, and the other is a bend out. The one that bend out faces you. So you're going to put that in and cover that over. Now, a lot of times the biggest issue with the Mitchell 300 is, oops, there goes the spring as I try to explain. This stud here needs to ride inside the loop of the spring. It's going to go like that. And that seems to be the biggest issue, is always getting that stud inside. Well, we'll try and show you how to do that. You're going to put the spring in so that the tag end comes out of the slot in the side of the rotor, just like that. Now, the reason why I like to take this off is because it's got to be set way off at rest. So if the normal bail is going to be up here, you don't try to start it that way. The best thing to do is to find the hole in the back of the bail wire and put it into the slot. I guess I can do it this way. Put it into the slot here and get the coil where it's inside that spring. A lot of people tell me that they can't get the spring set because that stud remains outside of it, and then they try to jam it, and well, you can imagine what happens. And this is another reason why it works so well to do this off the reel. Okay, now you see what I just did. I put the carrier in, and we are way back here in terms of where that bail wire is. And I want to align the hole next. Just get a turn or two to that nut, and you'll see that in a moment. Just a turn or two, and now you have this indent in the bail arm here, and you got a bump here. So if you tightened it down any further, this is not going to clear this bump to allow you to set that spring. Bring it over, pull it out, try to manage it that you don't break the connection, and then put it right back in. So we kind of have it there. I'm just going to push that in a little bit now and tighten down a couple of turns on the screw. Now that screw's got a shoulder on it, and you need to line that up with the arm. I like to compress this now by taking a screwdriver, just kind of bringing it back into that case so that it doesn't sit outside of it. I get that complaint all the time that they've been working on the bail arm and that the wire is outside the case. Okay, we'll just line that up, see if we can't bring that back in. Just like that. And now you'll see we have the tag end out, the spring is firmly in the case, and the bail arm is nice all the way around. This has got a little bit of a cracked case here, so not sure how that happened, but you'll see now that it snaps nice and easily. So that's how you do it for the Mitchell 300. Once you do that, you want to take your trip lever, which has been removed, place that inside the rotor, bring it over, and align the hole of your trip lever with the hole in that rotor base. I'm going to use a screw starter here just because it's easier. Well, usually easier. While I fetch that screw, if you want to, if you have any questions, if you want to leave those questions in the comments section, I'll be happy to try and answer those for you. Okay, we're going to line that up, get the screw started. That's going to be the same thing here. There's a shoulder on that screw, so you're going to have to just kind of play a little bit with that until you line this up. And now you have your your trip lever there. Bring this over, lock that in place, and now you need to set the spring on the inside so that you have tension on that piece. There's a little stud on the back end of the trip lever, and that's what you do to make this work. When this thing comes around on the inside, there's a plate, and this baffle plate here. It's got a little tag end that comes down. It's going to hit that ramp from the inside. It's going to pull this back, trip that bail. That's how it works. That's how you set it. I hope that's been informative and that you've enjoyed that. I'll just put the other side of the case on here. And this one's ready for reinstall. Okay, I'm going to come back, try and do the same thing now on a 308, show you how that one works. I'm sorry, it's a 304, not the 308. Okay, this is project 2 of the reel. This is a 304, it's a cap reel. The story behind this one is that this belongs to David in New York, and he purchased it as an 8-year-old in the 1950s on an Air Force base in Germany. So he's had this a long time, and what we're going to try and do is reset that bail spring for him. Okay, so I just finished removing the rotor then. Just like the other one, I like to work with the rotor off. In this case, this screw here is being a little tight and stubborn, so I'm just going to leave that in. It's okay to do it that way. And next what we want to do is the same thing that we did with the other one. We want to relax the fit on this one. I guess we can try and put this in first into the wire. And when you do this, make sure that that stud is inside the loop of the wire. Let's see if we can't hold this. I'm going to use my forefinger to hold that tight out. We're going to set that in through that case. And start the screw. Well, I don't have that wire in there yet. Just looking over the side here to make sure. There you go. And what we want to do is push up and over with our hand strength. Load the screw in. can start tightening down on that screw. Okay, let's give this a test before we do anything. Let's lock it in. Oh, we got the nice mouse trap going now. All right, we'll show you how to reassemble a reel. We kind of started with it off, but let's show you a little bit about the reel and what's interesting here. This has a planetary drive, and it has 2 studs coming out of it and an offset eccentric underneath. Those 2 studs from the planetary drive are going to sit in these 2 slots here when we get around to it. First thing we want to do is we want to reinstall the rotor. We want to get some fishing reel grease. Make sure that the rotor teeth and everything are clean. Put the grease back in. And now we can set the rotor over the stud in the case, just like that. Next thing you want to do is find the flat spot on the shaft, because this trip lever has a flat spot to it, and I believe that flat spot is going to be right opposite. There you go. It's right opposite the handle, and then we want to get the rotor nut and put that on. Now I use the deep socket for this. You may want the deep socket as well. Just have to, here it is. Just have to find out where it was. I'll hand tighten it as best I can, and then we'll just grab the socket wrench for that last little turn. And here's how the inner part of this is going to work. This is your trip ramp. Let's bring it over here. You're going to set your bail. As it comes around, you're going to see that the trip ramp here is going to push it back. It gets it aligned. And then we have the bent down part here, which is going to push it and snap it. Okay, there you go. All right, same thing here with the shaft then. Make sure that the shaft is nice and clean. A little bit of grease on there. There's a flat side to this shaft below that's going to face out. You're going to bring that through, face it out and down. Make sure it's nice and flat. Then we have the oscillation or the crosswind block. Line the holes up with that. Thank goodness these are kind of inset or offsets to them, because these are not the best screws to get started. And if this takes me a while, well, I would encourage you just go get your favorite beverage and come on back. It shouldn't be too long, but they're always fun to try and get started. I think I got one done. That's somewhat of a minor miracle there. Get the other one in place. One of the problems with this is it keeps sliding away. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. We were only a few steps away from your refrigerator or cooler or what have you. Okay, I'll make sure that your main gear's got grease on it. Let's go ahead and do that. And again, you can see the planetary gear inside the main gear. Okay, a couple of things to note. You've got Mitchell on here. That's going to face down so that when the reel is hanging from a pole, you can read whose reel it is. You've got the stud inside here, and these two are going to go into slots. So you're going to kind of line it up. It's going to be a little bit below center there. You can eyeball. And then when you think you got it, turn it, make sure that it's moving it. It is. And then you're going to rotate your plate so that you can see the locations of the screw holes and also have Mitchell on the bottom. I can't tell you how many times reels come into me, particularly spinning reels, where they're kind of universal like this and they're the wrong way. The damn quick reels are a good example of that. You can put them in a number of locations because it's a triangular mount like this one is. But the correct way to do this is to have Mitchell brand name facing down and the click arm, the override, facing up. Well, Dave, the spring you sent along was the right one. and it was different from the one that was in there. So I'm not quite sure what this one belonged to, but the one that you got from Mystic Parts is the correct one. Okay, let's just finish this up. We'll give it a test here. All the screws are tight. You want to make sure that your click ratchet's working. It works nicely. You want to make sure the oscillation gear is going up and down. That's what it's supposed to do. And of course, we'll make sure that the bail trips. Well, there you go. Nice mousetrap bail, as you saw from the inside. So that's how you reset the bail spring on the Mitchell 304. I hope you've enjoyed that. To our first responders, our police, fire, rescue, and all the folks that put their lives on the line for us and our public safety, thank you for everything it is that you do. To everyone, well, you just learned a lesson on how to keep a reel going, giving it a second chance. Give your reels a second chance. Give your reels a tune-up before you take them out on the water. It's a good time to do that. The season's closed now for a lot of us. Take the time, maybe watching a football game or something, take the time to go service the reel, and that'll keep you in a good state of mind when it comes time for opening day. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, wishing everybody a great day.